Hi, it's Dreyer and welcome to the Financial Freedom Challenge, where our mission is to help you to create, to grow, to protect and to enjoy a life of abundance so that you can do what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it, where you want to do it, without worrying about money or where the next paycheck is coming from. So today let's talk about FOMO, and that is the fear of missing out. What if I tell you that one Bitcoin today, this morning, trade for 156,971 rands, or $11,381, make it $11,400. Now, this simply means that if you've invested $100 on the 6th of December 2010, today that $100 would have been worth $5,173,554, or, wait for it, 71,350,528 rands. So what's the reaction that goes through you if you hear this? You see, a lot of people will make emotional decisions based on this information, because what if we're going to miss out? What if this thing is going to continue forever? Or what if we can just ride it for another $1,000, right? So we need to be very, very careful, because if you want to become a wealth creator, you need to control this fear of missing out. So let me give you a practical example of what happened. By now, I think that you know that I'm keeping a record of everything that I'm doing, of the major things. On the 6th of December, right? On the 6th of December, I was sitting on Chumbas on my farm, and one of my friends came to me and he said, "You discovered this thing called Bitcoin, and why don't we look into this and buy a little, let's call it a computer." He actually calculated what it would cost and how long it would take to mine Bitcoins, because he sees that at that point in time, it started at almost nothing, and it was like 22 cents, American cents worth at that stage. And I said to him, I'm not going to be interested, because I've got a certain way that I invest. In other words, I do not buy into this greed, and I do not buy into anything. So unless I can apply the formula for riches and the ruler's principle, I'm not interested. Now, with hindsight, one can say, yeah, but you've missed out on at least 73 million, because we would not stop with one Bitcoin, that I can promise you. So, but let's make it 73 million. And how do I feel about it? Well, I haven't got the 73 million, at least not from that venture. And for that reason, I've missed out on absolutely nothing, because there's a certain principle that I use and follow whenever I invest. And if that is not there, I'm not going to invest. In other words, I want to make use of the ruler's principle. So what is that ruler's principle? It's very, very simple. It's a way to overcome the fear of missing out, because of this fear of missing out, I've experienced in 1987, when the dot-com bubble burst, how many people actually burned their fingers. So there's a couple of people that made a lot of money, and then the majority of people lost a lot of money. And I believe that the cryptocurrency market is going to do exactly that. There's going to be people that's going to make millions and billions, and then there's going to be the majority of people eventually will lose out simply because of this fear of missing out. So how do I go about in evaluating something? And by the way, I'm now investigating cryptocurrencies, the blockchain and Bitcoin and Ethereum and all the currencies, because unless I can find the value, there's no ways that I will invest, even if this thing runs and will be able to make me another 100 million. And I want you to stick with this principle, the ruler's principle. The first thing is this investment on your radar. In other words, will it, if you've got the understanding, the second part, will it be able to give you at least an investment growth rate that is going to be higher than your financial freedom growth rate. If you do not have the skills, right, and the competencies to be able to extract that value from this opportunity, cryptocurrencies, blockchain, Bitcoin, all of that, don't go for it. Or at least I will not go for it. So the second thing is we need to understand it. Now, the great thing is I've spent, well, not a lot of time so far. Although I've been tracking it, I did not spend the time to really understand it. But a fabulous thing is busy happening because I could never see the value in it. And since I started now really getting into it, I start to see a lot more value than what I thought. But you see, it's a different industry. It's a completely different game. I remember when I bought my first computer way back, and the computer program. I actually bought the computer with the program in order to be able to do my work. And at that stage, there were only two of us in Rustenburg that, in actual fact, my friend Farnes came to me and he said to me, why don't we go into this and then we can get a little bit better deal? And no one else saw that at that stage, simply because the technology wasn't available. Technology was completely, it was totally new, it was brand new. And people could not see how you could make money from using a computer. And I saw this not as a way to make money, but as a tool to use in order to make money. Right, and because of that, I think that, well, it was a great decision. But it was simply based on this ruler principle. In other words, I wanted to understand, and I needed to understand before I could invest in it. And because I understand it, and I'm busy understanding this, I'm beginning to love it. Now, let me tell you the main reason why I love what I see so far is what we call decentralization. This is a concept that I've been teaching since I started in 2002. And that is that the powers, that there are governments that literally controls us, and financial institutions that control us. And because of that, we are literally slaves to the system. Now, if you've followed me for some time, you'll know that this is true. And I think this cryptocurrencies, the blockchain, is going to rattle and rev up a lot of industries. And I think the people that think that they're in control is going to find that the people are actually in control with this disruption that is busy happening. And for that reason, I love especially what I've discovered on the blockchain. Now, the cryptocurrencies are built on these blockchains, so that's the reason why we need to understand the basics. Okay, so if that cryptocurrency can address a specific need and add value to a specific market segment, I believe that that thing will have value, that it will be able to determine that value, and that you will be making money even if everything else fails. And that is exactly what happened those days with Microsoft and Apple and the companies, Amazon and those companies that addressed a specific problem, overcome that problem, as well as the market sentiment, and then pushes that through. And those companies have made, and the investors even in them, has made millions, if not billions. Another thing that I like, what I'm busy seeing, is that because we've got certain competencies, we can literally create the event. So people are going to say, are we too late? Is it too early? Should we not have been in it already? And that becomes totally irrelevant, because even if Bitcoin goes up to $100,000 or even more than that, it becomes irrelevant, because if you can get it for free and you can create the event where that is going to give you a great return on your investment, or in terms of that you want, in other words, your investment growth rate is going to outperform your financial freedom growth rate, then the event becomes irrelevant, because we control the event, we can create that event. A great thing about the cryptocurrencies is that the moment that you understand and you know and apply the formula for riches, there are several ways in order to be able to reduce the risk. And if you're in a certain position, like I am at this stage in my life, I can take and invest in cryptocurrencies without taking 1 cent risk. So it will not cost me a cent, and I'm planning to share this and show people how I'm going to set this up and how I'm going to do it and how I'm going to control Bitcoins without taking any risk, right? Of course, I'm going to show more than one way, but I'm just mentioning this. And then the last part of the ruler's principle is the S for the systems and strategies. Because I'm a wealth creator, I'm going to follow the wealth creator strategy by applying the wealth creator system. Now, the way that I see it is that the majority of money to be made is not necessarily to invest. From an investment point of view, unless you're going to get the timing right, you're going to burn your fingers, especially if that thing turns against you. But if you see this, the way that I'm going to do it, is from a business point of view, then that is a total different story. Because now I can build a business around this investment. And that is exactly how Warren Buffett has made millions, and that is exactly how Bill Gates made billions, and that is how Mark Zuckerberg made billions. Okay, so please use this ruler's principle, so that you do not necessarily fall into this trap of fear of missing out, and then make emotional decisions. So the trick that I know that I do have the ability to take 2 cents, convert it into at least 200,000 over the next year, by simply investing in cryptocurrencies, but using the skill sets that we've got. So as I've said, it's not going to be just a pure investment where I'm going to try to speculate and beat the market. I think you may make a mistake if that is what you want to do. You need to know what it is that you want to do and what you want to achieve, and you need to make what I call asymmetrical trades. You cannot rely on speculation. Okay, and in order to do that, you need to understand how it works. So here's the challenge basically for you for today. Is there an area in your life where you experience this fear of missing out? Maybe you've listened to other people in terms of Bitcoin or what they've done with Ethereum or with any of the other coins that they've created. And you think, yeah, I should have done it, and now I'm going to miss out, and therefore I'm going to punt my house and I'm going to put the money in. Now, what is that? Identify that. And then the next question is, how will you handle that? In other words, how can you turn that fear of missing out into, and this is the challenge, into a rational decision so that you eliminate that fear. In other words, so that you eliminate this emotional financial decisions that people are making. I'd like you to share that with us so that, maybe it can help other people as well as yourself. So in closing, always remember that in order to create financial freedom, you must make sure that today is going to be a perfect day and that you stay within the right framework and the mindset, and that is not to fall for this fear of missing out. And I see a lot of people are busy falling for that. And that simply means that each and every day you must make sure that you're going to do certain things. You have to take full responsibility. In other words, apply the ruler's principle to it. Know exactly what it is that you want. In other words, the intent, what's the outcome. And understand this that you are busy with. Will this give you? For example, I'm talking about Bitcoins and cryptocurrencies. But if you're invested in unit trust, do you really understand that unit trust? Right? Can you apply the ruler's principle to it and really say that this thing is going to help you to get to the goal? So to a certain extent, Bitcoin is almost like a safer bet to a certain extent because of this asymmetrical value that it's got than a normal unit trust. At this point in time, on condition that you understand and know what it is that you do. It's going to take time and effort. I'm putting a lot of time and effort in building the blueprints to get the understanding, because I'm not going to invest any money unless I really and truly understand what it is that I'm doing. And even then I know that I'm going to burn my fingers. And for that reason, I need to make sure that I know how to offset my risk. You need to have the right mindsets. In other words, control this emotions that's within us. because otherwise those emotions are going to really can kill you. And then take massive action. Consistently doing that, it needs to be done. That is the only way that you're going to get to the outcome that you want, right? And each and every action that you're going to take today is going to take you one step closer to or one step away from achieving your goal. Therefore, if you want to secure and guarantee yourself financial freedom, I challenge you to make rational investments. In other words, do the calculations, follow the ruler's principles, use the wealth creator strategy, and stay within the formula for riches. And not to invest because of this FOMO thing that people have, in other words, this fear of missing out. Right, so if you've got any questions, comments or suggestions regarding financial freedom or regarding this FOMO that we talked about today, please leave me a comment and I'll help if I can. And then also remember to subscribe to my blog, that is blog.hannesdreyer.com, for more information and tips and strategies on financial freedom. And then also regarding my feedback, I've done what I was supposed to do this morning, so yes, feedback regarding that. And then in terms of the 2 cents challenge that I've got, I'm still working on my blueprint, and I think it's going to take another couple of days for me to really get the hang of it. Yeah, and I think that is basically where I stand at the moment. So please share this video with other people if you think that it can help them or benefit them in order to create, to grow, to protect, or to enjoy their wealth and their quality of life. And then I hope that you enjoy listening to me and learn something. And remember this FOMO thing, make sure that you stay in control of your emotions and don't let it run away just because it has worked for someone else, thinking that you've missed out in the process. You haven't missed out because your understanding and the lack of understanding simply wasn't there. And you know, you can't say, yeah, but I could have had 73 million rand. It's water under the bridge. What you need to do and what I need to do is to say, okay, but let's understand and see if we really can extract enough value so that our investment growth rate is higher than our financial freedom growth rate. Right, I'll see you then tomorrow.